Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. Today we are going to go through another example in CodingBat and Python. Let's do another warm-up from Warmup-1. In this one, we are going to go over the loops, the if-it statement, and everything that's possible. So the last video we were walking through a sleep-in project exercise. Now let's do Diff21. Let's see what the question is and what is the expected output and the input that is given and how we can possibly solve this question. So as you can see, the solution is given here, but we don't obviously want to see the solution because we want to learn it. So let's just go over what the question is and how we can possibly solve this Python example. Given an int n, so what is an int? Int is basically an integer, meaning a value that is a digit. So like let's say 0, 1 to infinity. And then we want to return the absolute difference between n, which is any value, and 21. So when it makes it absolute, that means we cannot have a negative number. So, and then if we want to expect return double the absolute difference if n is over 21. So let's say a value of n is 22. And then 21 subtracted by 22 is going to give a -1. So that in that case, we have to return double the value. So let's say if it's 22, 22 minus 21 minus 22, it makes it -1. And the -1, we have to give it the absolute, so it's going to be 1, and then we have to double the value, which is a 2. So let's just see how we can possibly solve this. So let's just create a variable. Variable is possibly any name that has an expression to it. So let's say I just want to put like 21. So 21 subtracted by n, it could be any value, right? So we don't know what the value is. The value is given when the user inputs it here. And then we want to have an if statement. So if n is bigger than 21, we want to have the same variable that we created, f21. We want to give it we want to have the absolute value of it. So ABS, it's a keyword in Python. If we search it up, absolute in Python. So as you can see, this one gives an absolute value for a real and complex number. So absolute value of diff21. So what this does, it's gonna reverse the value. So if we have a -1 value, it's gonna reverse it and makes it a 1, and then in here we can just multiply it with 2. Then we can return diff21. So in here we're gonna return this one, but then if this is not the case, we just want to return this one. So that we have to come from the indentation, and we have to come one more back. So let's do here and then return if 20. So let's see if our example will run perfectly. Okay, so as we can see, this one runs. So see here, we input in integer number and -2. So if we have it here, it's going to be negative, and negative is going to be 23 as the expected value, so it's fine. But then if you have something over 21, so let's say here over 21, so it's going to be -4, right? And -4, the absolute value of it is going to be 4 multiplied with 2, it's going to be 8. So as we can see, that's how the problem is actually working. So let's see another method that we can possibly solve this example. This was our first method. Let's go for our second method. So for second method, we can do again diff21. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be just diff21. We can just write like a difference. It doesn't have to be anything specific. So difference of the absolute n minus 21. So let's say if we have 25 minus 20 is going to be 4. It's just going to be okay. Or if you have something less, so if you have 5 minus 20, 21, again, it should be fine because it's going to give us like negative 16 or something. And then the absolute is going to be positive. So again, this will be fine. And then if n is bigger than 21, sorry, 21 is less than the n, we're going to return the difference value multiplied with 2. So we're going to double it. And then if that's not the case, we're just going to return our difference that we currently have. So let's run this one, see if this will also work out. Okay, so there is just a grammar issue. Okay, so this one will also work out. Let's do another method that possibly can help out with this one. Let's do our third method. And this one, we can possibly do just a one-liner example, which is easier if you're in advanced level. So first, we can possibly either do like return. So we're going to return this value. Return 2 multiplied with the absolute value of n minus 21. So that the absolute value. So whatever negative or positive value it is, it's going to make it a positive. Multiply 2 if n is bigger than 21. Else just return the absolute value of n minus 21. Or you can possibly write this. Okay, so this will also work. Or we can possibly, let's just this one as method 2. Let's just put it fourth method, which is just this one, but it's a less complex. It's not as complex as this one. So let's just put this one as our last method. Okay, so let's just we're going to create a variable, so it's going to make our work much easier. So let's just put a diff the absolute value of n minus 21. So this one, if that's the case, we can just put, we don't have to write the whole thing, so we can just multiply it if integer n is bigger than 21, else just return our difference. So we have to comment one of these ones. So now this is fine. Okay, so let's just run it. Okay, as we can see, this one is also running pretty fine. And thank you for watching this tutorial video on CodingBat, our warm-up exercise on Python. Please like and subscribe and comment below if you enjoyed it and if you have any other question. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.